They'll never know I'm up here. Ooh, he knows! Boom! Got him!
I will avenge you, Firefox. Go take a rest.
Get rolled.
What is up, everybody? Bubbles here. After my last video, I realized my title made it seem like I was going to review the game, and then I sort of didn't. So, while you got some initial impressions, I wanted to come back 1 week later and actually give an actual review of the game based on my experience thus far. Obviously, my views are always growing and changing as I play more of the game, but I'm about 20 hours into the game at this point, and so I wanted to give a little bit more in depth of my thoughts of how this game is and whether or not you should pick it up and or continue playing. Overall, I love this game. It is so much fun. Game mechanics are simple and easy to understand, but they're not boring. The mechs have their own unique strengths, weaknesses, and playstyles, and it's very similar to learning how to master a hero in a MOBA. This translates to a low barrier to entry, meaning new players can jump in and enjoy it quickly, while also creating a decently high skill cap for players who want to get really good and play at a higher level. However, there are a few things that raise some eyebrows once we get past that initial summary. So this video is going to highlight the pros and the cons to this game. There are a lot of great things about this game. There are also a few things that I think could be improved. So I'm going to highlight the main things that I feel are important to keep in mind when deciding if you want to play this game or if you want to continue playing this game. We'll start off with the pros. Number one, as I said in the intro, this game has a really low barrier to entry. You can pick this game up, little to no expertise, little to no skill on mouse and keyboard, and find your place fairly easily. I'm not a mouse and keyboard player, but I picked this game up, and day one, loved it. My aim was a little weird, but the movement mechanics are simple enough that you're not just going to instantly get outclassed by other players. The game mechanics are also fairly simple to understand. The weapons, both in your mech and out of your mech, are more or less pretty straightforward. So you can jump into them, play around with a few things, find what you like, and within an hour or two, be running a loadout on a mech that you're happy with. Number two, there are a lot of different layers to the play in this game. Between the different mechs and the different guns, there's a lot of different playstyles that you could use here. Currently, if I have a main, I would say play mostly Firefox. I like the dash mechanic on the mech. I like the consistent damage that's good both up close and at range. And I've been able to play some really good games with Firefox. I'm also messing around with some other mechs, zipping around in who I like to affectionately call Starscream. I've played a little bit of the teddy bear, and I may not know the names of all of them at this point, but you don't actually expect me to know things, do you? The point here is the mechs are a lot of fun. Again, as I said in the intro, it's like learning a hero in a MOBA. There's different mechs with different playstyles, some of them up close, some of them at a distance, some of them with different levels of mobility. While it's simple enough that there's not a high barrier to entry, there is a decently high skill cap for some of these mechs, and learning how to maneuver them in-game and switch from one mech to the next, depending on what your team picks, is actually a lot of fun, and it allows for a lot of adaptability and growth and skill level across the game. So if you want to get really good at this, be a skilled player, you definitely can. The third thing I'll say is the gunplay in this game is just fun. There's not as much movement as other games, not as much specific feel to the way the guns shoot, but it's fun. It's simple, it's easy to get into, and it's engaging. There's something about getting damage on a mech, just getting those mech eliminations, outplaying somebody with a shotgun. It's just fun. And so if you're looking for good, reasonably clean gameplay, this game has it. There are a few interesting pieces to that gameplay that I'll touch on in this next section, but the basic gameplay is just very, very fun. So that being said, we can't talk about the positive without looking at some areas that the game could improve, or at least some question marks that I still have about the game and how the developers are approaching it. So number one, the rank system makes no sense. Most games I've played have a casual public mode with no rank, and then a ranked mode you can play if you want. This game just sends you into ranked automatically, and that rank seems to translate between all game modes. On the one hand, I don't mind this. The rank system seems to evaluate your performance and not just wins and losses, so you aren't really punished for having teammates that are bad or disconnect or AFK. This is great. On the other hand, I wish I could play new mechs in casual mode instead of being limited to just training mode and regular ranked play. There doesn't seem to be an opportunity to practice other than just jumping into the fire. This seems like a big missed opportunity, and seeing as how this game feels so much like a MOBA when you go through its interface in terms of rewards, customizing mechs, upgrading characters, which is a great facet to this game, I'm curious as to why the developers did this. Their MOBAs are strong. I like both the MOBAs I've played from NetEase. So this choice seemed odd. Number two, the matchmaking is honestly all over the place. And look, the player base is still pretty small, so maybe there aren't that many players to match each other against. But I have lost multiple games because I have been paired with people who have maybe an hour of playtime and are bronze rank, going against teams full of higher ranked players with 40 plus hours in the game. At the same time, I have rolled some teams who clearly were just new to the game. This makes the rank system even more confusing, in my opinion. Why have a rank system if rank means nothing when matchmaking? Now, it's possible that the rank system functions mostly for Battle Royale. I've only played 4 Battle Royale matches, and I've won all of them, which seems to indicate a lot of bots and or new players. So maybe that's rank-based matchmaking in play. But the problem there is that it's too easy, so I'm not interested in continuing. I will probably play more Battle Royale at some point, as I do think this mode has a lot of potential, but for now I've been playing mostly Team Deathmatch because there just seems to be more competition. At any rate, new players should just be aware that you might get very different experiences based on which mode you play. It's worth mentioning again that this game seems to have a low player base, so I get it. The limited time modes, for example, never seem to find a game at all. I'll sit waiting for 5+ minutes each time, and eventually just give up and go back to Team Deathmatch. So more players would probably help these things fix themselves over time. Number 3. This game has a lot of bugs. Maybe it's just me, but the game crashes about once a day. This crash you're seeing now made my whole computer lose its mind.
What just happened?
If it doesn't crash, it might give me a game-ending bug and tons of lag. Here's one example which broke my brain trying to navigate and play through it.
This POV.
Firefox, go. I will avenge you, Firefox. That hurts. Oh no.
If that doesn't happen, I'm guaranteed to die at least once per session because there is directional sound for gunshots, but not for footsteps for some reason. Not sure how a giant mecha can walk around silent as a whisper's ghost, but okay. At any rate, none of these bugs are the end of the world. Honestly, I'm fine with the devs working things like this out while the game is live. And on the bright side, the game reconnects very quickly and easily once you relaunch from Steam, so you can jump right back into the game you were in when it crashed. Not a big deal. But I am a little worried that the bugs are going to drive away new players who don't have the patience. And I wouldn't blame players who leave for that reason. Because the low player base of this game is one of my main concerns, I'd like to see the devs addressing some bugs more actively. Still, the overall takeaway here is that the game is good and playable. It's a good product. So I would encourage people not to let the bugs get to you. There's something to be aware of, but take it in stride and try to have fun with the game anyway as it grows. So there we go. Those are my 3 main points. Let me know in the comments what you think about this game, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, and if there are any other topics you'd like to see me cover in the future. I'm still really loving this game. I'm definitely going to continue playing it and see how my impression of it evolves as I play a little bit more Battle Royale, as I climb in rank, and just as I log more hours on the game. It is free to play, and it's got a lot of free things you get within the game to buy more mechs, upgrade things, a lot of cool cosmetics in the game, I think. So it's a lot of fun. It's definitely worth trying. Just keep these things in mind so that you sort of know what you're getting into. Whether you love it or hate it, I think this game has a lot of potential, and I am excited to see how it grows and how it is developed. If you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Let me know what else I should try, what else I should talk about. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time.